Good afternoon. I'm Nick Czar, President of the Board of Trustees. I want to take this opportunity to welcome each of you at Western's 79th Annual Meeting. Before we get too far into introductions and the business meeting, I would like to show a video that Western's managers created summarizing each department's successes and challenges. The theme of this year's meeting is Wired for Success, and I can't think of a more fitting descriptor for Western's employees. They can take any challenge thrown their way, and we've experienced our fair share of challenges over the past couple of years. 100-mile-an-hour wind storms, ice storms, new technology implementation, external financial pressures, and many others. And yet, they remain focused on serving our members and exceeding our expectations as a board. So, with all that being said, we'll play the video and let each manager give you an update in their own words.
Imagine, if you will, what it must have been like after dark in the farms, ranches, and small towns of America 75 years ago. Before there was power. Before there was electricity. But that was all about to change, and change it did when farmers, ranchers, and rural families banded together to shine a light on the need to turn the lights on in rural America. Cooperation created the electric co-ops, and the co-ops created a movement so profound that President Franklin Roosevelt said, "The forward march of electric cooperatives has an even more profound significance in terms of our fight to preserve democracy." Is there any finer representation of democracy at work than neighbors helping neighbors? When the electric co-ops were born, something much bigger happened. For when we turn the lights on, we help democratize the American dream for the people, families, farms, ranches, and businesses of rural America. The effect was so powerful that in 1940, a man sitting in a pew in a small rural church in Tennessee was moved to say, "Brothers and sisters, I want to tell you two things. The greatest thing in the world is to have God in your heart, and the next greatest thing on earth is to have electricity in your home." 75 years ago, a handful of farmers and ranchers, united by the common values of honesty, responsibility, equality, and solidarity, and armed only with a powerful purpose, took the lead, banded together, and answered the call. Today, a new generation of electric co-op members, just like the farmers, ranchers, and rural families did 75 years ago, must again answer the call. We are the owners of the co-ops and are the fabric of the communities in which we live and work. And as faith and trust in other institutions sink, the need to empower, inspire, and mobilize each other to take care of ourselves, our neighbors, and our communities rises. Let it be known, it is time for this new generation to turn the lights on again, to power, protect, and grow our communities, not just with the electricity of our infrastructure, but with the electricity of our purpose, passion, ideas, and will, to ensure that the quality of life in all of the communities in which we live and work is improved. For our purpose is a mighty one, to power communities and empower members to improve the quality of their lives. And when we live up to our purpose, we relight the American dream. Think back now about the profound impact our founding members made 3/4 of a century ago, and grab hold of that same spirit, because we are the electric cooperative members of tomorrow, and our work has just begun.
Hi, I'm Ron Aschenbrenner, Line Superintendent at Western Co-op. Western Cooperative maintains over 4,000 miles of electrical infrastructure to supply reliable power to its members. In 2023, our overall availability reliability matrix stood at an impressive 99.96%. This means that for nearly every moment of the year, you had access to the power you depend on. Despite the challenges posed by severe Kansas storms, our commitment to reliability never wavered. We've navigated a tough supply chain environment with higher costs and extended lead times, particularly for large trucks and specialty items. Some equipment now takes up to 3 years for delivery. We're seeing improvements, but these challenges underscore the importance of foresight and detailed planning. Last year, Sunflower Engineering conducted a protective device coordination study on the western half of our system. The goal was to improve reliability and sectionalize outages by reducing operational expenses and enhancing system stability. This study is just the beginning of a series of improvements we're committed to making over the next several years. We've undertaken significant projects to upgrade our infrastructure, ensuring it meets your needs today and in the future. This includes breaker replacement and relay upgrades at the Ransom substation, rebuilding lines from the East All sub to the Wilson sub, and also line rebuilds and substation upgrades at Yosemite and Angeles. Our 2023-2026 construction work plan represents a $14.6 million investment in our community, with distribution line rebuilds accounting for $8.8 million of that total. These are not just numbers, they're proof of the dedication of our linemen to you, our members. Thanks to our ongoing efforts, we recovered more than $820,000 from FEMA for previous storm damages. This recovery means we can keep rates stable, easing the financial burden on all of us. As we look into the future, we're always evaluating new technologies like battery storage and distributed generation alternatives. Our goal is to determine how these innovations can benefit our members and ensure Western Cooperative remains in step with the evolving energy industry. Thank you for your trust and support as members, and thank you for the hard work and dedication of all our linemen, warehouse and material workers, stakers, and employees who help keep the lights on. We wouldn't be able to accomplish any of these things without you.
Hi, my name is Jay Scott, and I am the safety manager here at Western Cooperative Electric. I'm proud to reflect on the safety achievements of Western's employees and address the challenges we face in our inherently dangerous industry. Our team's engagement in Western's safety program continues to improve year after year. Having open and transparent communication has strengthened our safety culture, empowering every employee with the ability to speak up and contribute to a safer workplace. Honing our focus on the high-risk activities has been key to improving hazard recognition, enhancing communication, and reducing accidents and injuries. During regulatory compliance inspections, the attention to detail has been outstanding. Adhering to the standards governing our industry, employees continue to demonstrate excellence in maintaining these critical benchmarks. The commitment to continuous improvement shines through, whether participating in employee-led training, engaging with the NRECA Commitment to Zero Contacts Phase 2 program, or attending monthly safety meetings. The dedication of Western's employees is driving us forward. Thanks to the willingness to report incidents and near misses, we've been able to utilize our safety trend matrix effectively. This tool helps us identify trends, pinpoint areas for improvement, and benchmark our safety performance against industry standards. All this being said, we must remain vigilant. Complacency can sneak in over time, making it crucial that we sustain our proactive safety culture. We must also continue to refine our habits, ensuring safety remains our core value, always prioritized over production. Changes caused by our evolving industry directly impacts our safety culture and programs. While there may be some new challenges in the future, through open communication and adherence to our core values, we can overcome these challenges and do our best to prevent injuries. We are committed to building a safer, stronger cooperative. Thank you to all of you for your hard work and dedication to safety.
Hello everyone, and thank you for being a member of Western Cooperative Electric. I'm thrilled to share some exciting updates from the Human Resources Department. First, we've completely revamped our onboarding process to ensure that new hires feel welcomed and well-informed from day one. Our goal is to make the transition seamless and supportive. We've also developed and refined our internal newsletter. It's more than just news. It's our way of keeping the employee connected with all the cooperative happenings, ensuring everyone is up to date and informed. During 2023, we also had the privilege of celebrating the retirements of Kenny Flax and Tanya Keller, who had both been familiar faces around Western for many years. Together, they had a combined total of nearly 60 years of service. We wish them all the best in their well-deserved retirement. Our recruitment efforts have been fruitful, and we've successfully hired 3 talented new employees: Tristan Sukup, Derek Keith, and Allie Lang. Each brings fresh perspectives and skills that will contribute to our workplace culture. And finally, we've kept our focus on building and training our people. Through various training opportunities, we're investing in the development of the Western employees, because when they are able to grow and improve their skills, it allows us to serve the members of Western better. Thank you for being a part of our cooperative's journey. Here's to another year of success and teamwork.
Technology continues to be a source of benefit and concern for our members. While we continue integrating new technology to improve our efficiency as an organization and our service to our members, we also face a growing threat of cyber attacks. An example of new technology implemented in 2023 was the full implementation of staking software, new staking procedures, and instrument-rated service inspections. These new staking procedures create a smoother workflow and robust documenting process. We also started a mapping initiative, which will determine the exact asset count and GPS locations of equipment in the field with an inventory of everything in the system, including Western-owned transmission and substations, as well as every pole and assembly in the distribution system. This data will be integrated with mapping and engineering software to help with reliability and improve restoration times. Cybersecurity continues to be an area of focus and concern for our department. We revamped the networking security and architecture to provide greater security when the network is accessed locally or remotely. We also received an A grade on Skyhem's penetration test. This was the first time they had given that high a score on any co-op's initial penetration test. The cooperative actively embraces innovation and stays at the forefront of technological advancements in the energy sector. We are committed to innovative solutions, such as smart grid technologies, data analytics, and energy-efficient practices to enhance the efficiency and sustainability of our services. While Western remains diligent and partners with industry experts, the threat of cybersecurity risks to the energy sector and critical infrastructure is constantly changing and increasing. Despite this concern, rest assured that information technology remains steadfast in our commitment to ensuring our cooperative's security, reliability, and efficiency.
Western Co-op is more than your power provider. We're also part of the communities we serve. I am pleased to share with you the successes and challenges we faced over the past year within the Member Services Department. One of our proudest achievements is our commitment to education through the youth trips and scholarship programs. In 2023, 4 students were selected for $1,000 scholarships, with one receiving the $250 Darrell Brown Memorial Scholarship. Throughout the years, we've empowered bright minds to pursue their dreams, ensuring a bright future in the communities we serve. Our youth trips have been tremendously successful over the years. Each year, we send 2 students to Washington, D.C., and 2 students to Youth Leadership Camp near Steamboat Springs, Colorado. These trips instill leadership skills and foster connections that will last a lifetime. Since 1964, Western has sponsored 182 students in the Cooperative Youth Tour and awarded over $42,000 in scholarships to our local students. Engaging these future leaders helps shape leadership within our communities and is the cornerstone within the cooperative business model. The cooperative actively engages with the community, fostering collaboration and supporting local initiatives that contribute to the region's overall success. By participating in and contributing to various community development projects through Western's Sharing Success program. In 2023, Western gave $20,000 to 4 local nonprofit organizations. Recipients included the Plainville Memorial Library, $4,700 for outdoor space and building improvements. The City of Bunker Hill, $5,300 for new city welcome sign. Rush County Rural Fire Department in Otis, $5,000 for radio upgrades. Project Dream, Cedar Bluffs Reservoir, $5,000 for playground improvements. Since 2015, our members have donated over $60,000 through Operation Roundup by rounding up their bills to the nearest dollar to help others. And in 2023, the Western Cares Payment Assistance Program distributed nearly $9,000 to families facing hardships. Other ways we give back to our communities include our annual employee food drive, which has contributed to local food banks. Western performs free electrical hazard safety training for first responders, businesses, and schools for public safety education. As technology evolves, so does our commitment to provide consumer-friendly products. And let's not forget Smart Hub. Over 30% of our membership has embraced our Smart Hub app for the web, phone, or tablet. This innovative tool provides convenient access to accounts with a sleek new design. Our new community solar program leverages the economies of scale. Western members now have the ability to participate in utility solar projects through a monthly subscription fee without tens of thousands of dollars of upfront costs. Our communications efforts have also reached new heights. Through the immensely popular Kansas Country Living magazine and social media, we've strengthened our connection with you, our valued members, and strive to provide you with more timely, pertinent information. Meeting evolving member expectations remains a top priority. We're constantly adapting to ensure that we're meeting your needs in an ever-changing landscape, which can create challenges that we must face head-on. Creating a fair rate design that collects fixed costs through fixed charges, time of electricity use, and electric demand charges are all being evaluated by our electric cooperatives across the state and across the country. We are dedicated to creating a fair and affordable rate structure that doesn't subsidize one group of consumers over another. The volatile gas market is also posing a significant threat and challenges, leading to unprecedented swings in the monthly energy cost adjustment. It's a hurdle that we've been actively working to overcome by using different hedging tools to mitigate risk for our members. As the grid evolves and transforms, so does our regulatory burdens, capacity requirements, and the price of costly transmission projects and upgrades. With the help of our local and federal representatives, we are doing our best to prevent members from being forced to absorb unnecessary cost burdens. Finally, capital credits represent your financial involvement in the cooperative. In 2023, Western returned $933,000 in capital credits to our members. And since our incorporation, Western has refunded members more than $30 million in capital credits. Together, we will navigate these challenges and continue to thrive as a cooperative community. Thank you for being a member of the cooperative.
Thank you all of you for putting that together. Let's give our managers a round of applause. We will present the general managers and financial reports later in the meeting. At this time, I would like to have Assistant General Manager and Marine Corps veteran Nolan Numerick lead us in a Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
The 79th annual meeting of Western Cooperative Electric will now come to order. It is my pleasure to be here today with all of you to celebrate our 79 years serving our members. I want to start by acknowledging several people in attendance. Please stand and be recognized when I call your names. First of all, Main Dish Hometown Catering. Rachel Eichmann, thank you for preparing a wonderful meal. She's back there cleaning up. Let's give her a round of applause. I don't know if she still heard us, but thank you very much. I would like to thank all cooperative employees for what you do. You are the foundation and the key to our success. I would like to thank all past retired employees that are here today. If there are any, please stand. I would like to thank the Board of Trustees, Craig Crossland and wife Linda, Landon Heyer and fiance Rachel, Terry Hobbs, wife Diana, Frank Joy, wife Carol, Marvin Keller, Sue Rolletter and husband Dave, Richard Schaus and wife Claudia, Dale Weinhold and wife Peggy, and thank you to my wife, Dusty Czar. I would like, yeah, thank you. We have our legal counsel, E.J. Dinas, our general manager, Tom Ruth, and wife, Christine. We have past trustees, Chuck Luters and Melvin Keller. Thank you to all those people. We have local elected officials, Kurt Brock, Trego County Commissioner, if you'd please stand. We have Sunflower employees, Davis Rooney, Vice President and Chief Financial Officer, Taylor Calcara, General Counsel, Megan Ball, Executive Manager of Corporate Services, Shelby Wiles, Marketing and Communications Supervisor, Diana Stiles, Economic Development Director, Nikki Fannensteel, Manager of Economic Development, Melissa Hubert, Legal Administrative Assistant, Kayla Cords, Administrative Assistant, Annie Erbert, Manager of Member Services, and James Brungart. With the Kansas Electric Cooperative staff, we have Lee Taffanelli, CEO. We have guest managers and staff of other local cooperatives. There's Richard MacLeon, CEO of Lane Scott. Kirk Gerard, CEO of Prairie Land. Also with Prairie Land is Cody Pounds and Elada Larsons. And then we also have Lisa Colson with Rolling Hills. Thank you all for coming. Finally, as I introduce each legislator or their representatives in attendance, I would offer them each an opportunity to address the membership. Please come up if you would like to say a few words. House Representative Barb Wassinger, District 111.
I was told I had to stand on the X so that I could be seen. Thank you so much for inviting me. This is always a nice visit. It's a nice time to come and see everyone. I want to thank you for anyone. There are people here from Hayes and Victoria that may have gotten me into this seat, and I appreciate being the state representative. This year, I want to go over just a couple things that my committee, legislative modernization, went over. We passed a cybersecurity bill, and is Craig Kramer here? Is that the IT director? Aha, so you'll like this. We managed to do something that I think is pretty momentous. We got all three branches of government to agree to the same thing. We have the legislative branch, the executive branch, and the judicial branch agreeing to do many different things, but in the end get to be NIST standard certified. NIST is the National Institute of Science and Technology, and they have cybersecurity 5 levels that they prove that you have to reach in order to be truly safe and keep your data safe. And I know that most of you probably saw the judiciary just release that 150,000 Kansans lost their data in their data breach, and that's unacceptable. So we got all of them together. We are creating offices of cybersecurity operating officers, and then they will make sure that each of their agencies and each of their departments come up to these standards. They have 18 months to plan, figure out all they need to be spending and what they're going to do, and then they will go from there and we'll implement it all, and all of the cybersecurity people will be employees of the executive branch. So no longer are different state agencies paying for the executive branch to do their cybersecurity. We're all on one team. We want one thing that the majority leader stressed all since he's been elected is we are one team, and as long as we continue to work together as Kansans, we can keep all of our Kansans' safety intact. We will be updating that bill every year. Hopefully I'll still be there to continue to update it, but I'll make sure I find someone that takes care of it for me. For some reason, I'm not. I know that you've heard a lot about the tax bill. We've been telling you how much we want the tax bill signed by the governor. It gives a lot of property tax relief. We would be not charging taxes on any Social Security income. We have adoption tax credits coming. We have pregnancy centers tax credits coming. Those are in some different bills, but we do want the governor to sign the new tax relief bill, which will lower taxes for the majority or the lower income, and it goes up. Every taxpayer will get tax relief. And I think it's a really strong bill, and we're kind of hounding the governor to have you call her and bother her and email her. So I want to thank you for being here. I thank you for letting me serve you. And I would be more than happy to talk to any of you. You can call my cell phone. Most people know that, but I'm happy to answer any questions and help you with any issues that you might have. I don't want to step on anybody else's toes. That might be your district representative, but I'll still help you too. So anyway, thank you so much for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you, Barb. Next, we would invite Senator Rick Billinger, District 40, to come address the membership.
Thank you. First off, Tom, board members, and employees, thank you all for inviting us. We always enjoy coming and seeing what's going on here at Western. In case you don't know, I'm Senator Rick Billinger. I represent the 40th District, which includes Trego County and 14 counties in northwest Kansas. And I serve on the Senate Ways and Means, so I do budget work for the Senate is what I do. And our budget's in really, really good shape. And as Representative Wassinger said, it's time to give some of that money back to you folks. We have $1.8 billion in a rainy day savings account, and we have approximately $3 million in, or not million, billion, in reserves. So I think our revenues last month come in ahead of projections, and I think we're in a good position where we have a very good tax cut which is sustainable. And I know the governor's put out that this wasn't sustainable, but it is. And one other thing I want to mention before I go, I was at a town hall meeting here in Trego County a couple of weeks ago, and the bridge out here on I-70 come up, and I have contacted the Secretary of KDOT, and he's assured me that nothing has been decided at this time. And before they do anything, they will come, they will have get-togethers where folks can voice their opinions. I told him, I said, we need to make sure we look at all alternatives, including lowering the highway so you have more room to take care of the over-height vehicles. And he said that is one of the considerations they are considering. The question being is whether or not the bridge has been compromised with the number of times it's been damaged. So that's all up in the air. But, you know, if that bridge can be salvaged, it sounds like they're willing to try some different options in trying to get enough overhead clearance. So I just wanted to be sure before I forgot that I would let you know that that is being looked at, and I did let them know that how important that is. There's not very many overhead bridges between Waukegan and Collier, and the underpasses with the size of equipment nowadays they're not sufficient to take the equipment through the underpasses. So it's got to be overpasses, and we must keep that one. So again, thank you. Appreciate the opportunity to be here.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you, Rick. House of Representative Ken Rajas, District 110.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I don't know if it was the worst for last or I want to say the best for last. You all have heard me the last how many years. So you know, Nick, thank you. Tom, as always, the board. Actually, there was proof that I was actually at work at least one day in the legislature when they all came by. Thank you all in the gray shirts for what you do. I know the last couple of weeks has been tough on all of us. I know the winter's tough. I would guess it's just as tough to go out when the wind is blowing 70 miles an hour and dirt and you can't see exactly sure what you're going, but thank you for what you do. All right. Well, they give you a nice, bright, shiny, how great things are in Topeka. Now let's go back to reality. So, by the way, Lee, thanks for being here too. I do have one question. So if the lights flicker, who's at Sunflower to make sure that, you know, we get this thing going? So no, it's great for them to be here as well. And we were at Prairie Land the other day, and a lot of folks were there as well. So good to see you all as well. And of course, I'm a proud member of Prairie Land. Have been, as I said at that time, it took me years and years to quit calling it Norton Decatur. So. Very proud of roots. We live out in the country, just outside of Agra. Agra's just right east of Phillipsburg on Highway 36. You blink twice and you'll be in Kensington. So that's where that is. But I'm proud to serve you as chairman of the Agriculture Committee. We'd probably play more defense than offense. You know, it costs money to print bills and to try to discuss bills. They don't have a chance. There's no reason to do them just to do them and get on TV for 5 seconds. So we're very cautious with your money. We're going to talk about that in just a moment. Your money. Keep that in mind. One of the things we worked hard on the last 2 years, and it looks like it's not going anywhere, which is probably a good thing, and that is foreign ownership of land. We're all aware of what's going on. We have good laws in Kansas that China is not buying farmland. So there's a lot of stories, there's a lot of things. There's a young man in western Kansas that has bought a lot of ground. He's not Russian. He actually was born in New York. Now, we don't talk about somebody born in New York City owning Kansas farm ground. That's a whole other story. But one thing that has happened is through this process, we want to make sure that you're safe and we don't have folks that do not love America like you and I do not be a part of it. One thing we have done, though, is protect agriculture interests. We have folks in Gary County, you probably drive by the Smithfield pork processing plant. We also, north of there, have Syngenta, which started out as AgriPro. Many of you remember AgriPro. Most of the public varieties that people grow in the country are done and established there in Gary County. We don't want to be like others and say divest and go away. Why? Syngenta told us. We won't sell to anybody, we'll just close down. I didn't want to be one to tell all the farmers that grow wheat, oh, by the way, all those varieties you like are no longer available. We have to be careful. Those countries, it's like one of my favorite past presidents, Ronald Reagan, said, trust but verify. You need to make sure that everybody's playing fairly and nicely. But we'll continue. So one thing that did happen is we did protect agriculture. Also served appropriations on the House side with Senator Billinger. We got a lot of good things done, I believe, for Western Kansas. A lot of things for really the state to make good investments. And that's part of it. Now let's go to the other part, taxes. Heard about capital credits. Let's talk about it from a cooperative standpoint. We have billions of dollars of capital credits. It's not the state legislators' money, it's not the governor's money, it's not the Supreme Court's money, it is your money that Uncle Joe gave us. Uncle Joe's the president, by the way, if you didn't know who that was. Through COVID and all that situation, to try to keep the economy going. But what's happened is, everybody in Kansas loves to shop online. And so our revenues continue to go up and up and up. And we need to share that, or give that, not even share it, give it back to you all. So while yes, we have a tax plan, the third or fourth one this year, the governor's vetoed all of them so far, I think 8 in the time she's been governor, because it's politics, doesn't know what's right or wrong, you know, and we're very close. I don't know, we'll know in the coming days. We keep checking our phone now to see if she's going to veto it, just for politics, because we have adjourned. And what adjourn means is we can go out and raise money, we can go out and campaign and everything else. But if we go back for a special session, everything kind of stops for a while. And then it can show what? The legislature can't get anything done? Well, we can. Because the last budget bill, the last tax bill we passed had overwhelming support for both Republicans and Democrats in the House. I can't speak for the Senate, nor my mom told me not to speak ill of people that you don't agree. No offense, Senator Billinger, but some of your friends, we have some challenges. But we will, excuse me, my allergies are showing. We didn't do enough. We did not do enough, I'll be honest with you. When I talk to people just like you, and some of you I probably did before we went in session in January, not a one said, reduce my income tax I'm paying in the state of Kansas. You know what they did say? Give us property tax relief. Help us to get property tax relief. What could the state do? Not much. But we have 20 mills that go to education. We were going to reduce that by 2. That's about what we could do. Tax share, we could maybe go a little bit more than that, but not much. That's at least what the state can do, and then hopefully we can work with the counties. We know county commissioners do a great job, but it's a challenge, we know that. But we need to give property tax relief back, whether it be farmland owners, homeowners, and so on. So we failed. I'll be honest, we did. We couldn't do better. We should have done better. But what happened is politics got in the way. So of all of us, and if you talk to people now till the August primary, ask them about that. What happened? What happened? Why couldn't we do more? Because that money has to go back to you all. Because what happens is, we talk about non-sustainability, we don't need to be creating new programs that then may not be sustainable. We've made good, strong investments in higher ed, not only from technical schools, but for universities. Fort Hays did very well this time, which will also strengthen all of us here in Western Kansas. But if we're back, if you watch Hays Post or read the newspapers, and if we sit around all day waiting for something to happen, you'll probably see a quote, if you all read the Salina Journal, I guess it made that, where I said, let's get something done. I'm tired of the theater. Theater does not bring you relief. Theater does not get things done. You send us there to get things done. Now, on a brighter note, isn't it great to be a Kansan? Isn't it great to be somewhere where we don't have a lot of issues on our college campuses? They walk and they go to class. Those that decide they want to stay and talk about things, well, they just go to class, and it hasn't been a problem. And I will tell you this, as you watch the news at night, the Kansas legislature, every 2 years, does a resolution in strong support of Israel. We will not be divesting investments into Israel. That's for a whole other issue, but I will tell you that much, that the Kansas legislature in the state of Kansas is fully committed to Israel, and we wish them well. It's a great opportunity to be here. Thank you. I know I went way too long, but I always do, except if I'm after Senator Billinger. But one last thing, June 3rd. June 3rd at noon is the filing deadline. If you want to try to do one of these jobs, talk to me. We might be able to make a deal. But also, you have some county offices that are up as well. So find out who those candidates are. We all become stronger when we're engaged. Being an engaged citizen is not something you can Monday morning quarterback. You have to be engaged. And I know one of the reasons why being here today, you want to be engaged. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Ken. Next, we would invite Reed Petty, representing Senator Jerry Moran's office.
Thank you all. Great to be here today. I'm originally from Liberal, Kansas, the southwest corner of the state, but I started working for Senator Moran in January, and we'll be moving to Hayes with my wife and kids in the next month. So we'll be close to this area. I will cover the area from Junction City all the way to Goodland, so that kind of the I-70 corridor, so a pretty big area for the senator. What my job will be is to go out on his behalf to events such as these, kind of be his eyes and ears when he's not able to be here. So for instance, today he is in Washington, D.C. right now, and the big topic there right now in Congress is actually not the Trump trial, it's actually the FAA reauthorization. So they're dealing with that right now in the House and the Senate. The FAA reauthorization expires on Friday, I believe, and so they're trying to come together and come to a fix for that to get that reauthorization done. So that's kind of what they're working on right now. The senator sits on the Appropriations Committee, and a new committee he recently joined within the last year is the Intelligence Committee, and that's been a very eye-opening committee for him, being on that Intelligence Committee, being told things about what's going on around the world, which has kind of helped shape his worldview here in the importance that he would like to see us helping our allies overseas. And so that's a committee that's really been eye-opening for him. He's also on the Commerce Committee, and then the committee he's probably most passionate about is the Veterans Affairs Committee, with his dad being a former, he was a World War II veteran. And so he's very passionate about the VA committee. He's the ranking member on that committee. What that means is he's the top Republican on the committee. So if the Republicans were to regain the Senate at any point, he would become the chair of the Veterans Affairs Committee. So I'm not going to delve too much into political policy. I'll stick around after if you have any questions or would like to talk to me about that. I've got cards on me as well. But we do want to let you know that you can reach out to us for assistance with federal agencies. So if you know a veteran that is having trouble with the VA, you can reach out to us. We can assist with that. If you're having any trouble with Medicare, the IRS, I know this is tax season, is still kind of going on with from this last month or two. If you're having any problems with the IRS, Social Security, immigration, any of those issues at all, we can assist with federal agencies. So just reach out to one of our offices. Closest office to here is Hayes, but we also do have offices all around the state, including Garden City, Manhattan, Wichita, Olathe, and Pittsburgh, and then of course our Washington, D.C. office as well. So we're happy to help in any way we can. Appreciate allowing us to be here today. The senator passes along his greetings, and best of luck to another great year. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Reed. I want to thank you all for being here today. As an electric co-op, We appreciate working with our representatives in Topeka and Washington to ensure reliability and better serve our members here in rural Kansas. You've all been very supportive of the cooperative model and our ongoing efforts to make rural Kansas a great place to live. Western's General Counsel, E.J. Dinas, will now review the legal proceedings.
The Western bylaws state that business may not be transacted at any meeting of the members unless there are present in person at least 20 people, or 20 members, I should say. I've checked with the reception door, and when the meeting was called to order, there were 66 members present, so we do have a quorum. Unless there are objections, I will entertain a motion to dispense with the reading of the official notice and affidavit of meeting. Do I have a motion to that effect? I so move. Thank you. You second it? Thank you. All those in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. We will dispense with the reading of the notice and the affidavit of mailing. On April 5th, 2024, Quick Print of Topeka mailed the official meeting notice and the ballots to the members of Western Co-op Electric in compliance with the bylaws. Proof of mailing can be viewed upon request. Thank you. Let's see. Oh, got a little more to say. Each of you received a copy of the 2023 annual meeting minutes in the annual report and included in your program. Unless there are objections, I will entertain a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes, since you've already read them when you got your notice. Do I have a motion for? Okay. Do I have a second? Thank you, Marvin. It's been moved and seconded to skip the minutes. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Motion carried.
Thank you, EJ. I will now show a short video we have prepared for the chairman's report. All videos shown here today will be available on our website at westerncoop.com following this meeting. My name is Nick Czar, and I'm proud to be the board president for Western Cooperative Electric. As a lifelong resident of rural Kansas, I've witnessed firsthand the dedication required to provide our members with safe, reliable, and affordable power. Over the past couple years as the trustee, I've learned the complexity of an ever-changing industry while maintaining the focus and commitment to serving you, our members. Here at Western Cooperative Electric, we prioritize active listening, transparency, and accessibility to earn your trust. Our 9 trustees work to stay informed about industry trends and the community needs in order to make decisions that ensure stability and sustainability for our future generations. Over the past year, our cooperative has continued its mission of providing our members safe, reliable, and affordable electricity. Despite the challenges posed by weather events, ongoing supply chain issues, and economic uncertainty, our dedicated line workers and staff have worked tirelessly to ensure service to our homes, businesses, and farms. Furthermore, our commitment to our community engagement remains steadfast. We have engaged and uplifted our communities through various outreach initiatives and education programs, such as Sharing Success Grant Program, youth scholarships and youth tours, and electrical safety demonstrations. In line with our reliability and affordability goals, we have stayed informed on emerging technologies and analyzed what and when to deploy assets such as solar farms in order to get the best returns for our members and contribute to our cooperative's long-term resilience and fiduciary success. Safety remains paramount in all aspects of our operations. Through a rigorous apprentice training program and adherence to the industry best practices, we continue to prioritize the well-being of our employees and the communities we serve. Our collective commitment to safety underscores our dedication to excellence in everything we do. As an electric co-op, we represent not only our families and neighbors, but also rural Kansas. By supporting local industry and agriculture, a shared goal drives our co-op to improve our way of life and connect with members, making it our responsibility to serve the members first and foremost. In conclusion, I am immensely proud of the accomplishments we have achieved together at Western Cooperative. Our unwavering dedication to service, reliability, and safety serve as a testament to the values that define our organization. As we look ahead to the future, let us remain steadfast in our mission to empower our communities and light the way forward. Thank you. Are there any questions about the chairman's report? Hearing none, it is now my pleasure to introduce Western Cooperative Electric's General Manager, Tom Ruth.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It is an honor and a privilege to be here today to celebrate with you 79 years of serving Western's members. This cooperative was started by members just like you so many years ago, and it's been your dedications, your patience, and your caring that creates the cooperative that we have today. At this time, I'll go ahead and play the video for the manager and the financial reports, and we'll answer any questions afterwards. Hello, I am Tom Ruth, General Manager of Western Cooperative Electric. For 79 years, you, our members, have entrusted us to power your homes, farms, and way of life. While we have been successful in the past, technology and member expectations are changing, and it's imperative that we look to the future. That means adopting a forward-looking approach to meet the constantly evolving needs of our members and the changing landscape of the electric industry. Western is wired for success because we embody the idea that the cooperative is not merely a provider of electricity, but a critical partner in the prosperity and well-being of our members and the communities we serve. As we reflect on the successes and challenges of 2023, keep in mind that none of our achievements would have been possible without the expertise, dedication, and hard work of our employees, who work tirelessly to serve Western's members, rain or shine. Our unwavering commitment to public and employee safety is central to our service-first mindset and one of our core values. Because we adhere to rigorous safety standards each and every day, members can trust the cooperative to provide electricity safely and securely, minimizing the risk and ensuring the community's well-being. We remain steadfast in our commitment to serving you, our valued members. With a focus on innovation, resilience, and community collaboration, we are confident in our ability to overcome any obstacles that may arise in the future. Together, we are wired for success, and with your continued support and partnership, we will continue to thrive. Related to board governance, Western Service Territory consists of over 4,000 miles of power line across 13 counties and provides service to more than 12,000 accounts and serves 19 franchise communities. Our service territory consists of 3 districts represented by 3 trustees per district who make up our 9-member board. We are engaged in regulatory matters concerning legislation that impacts cooperatives. Working with legislators to develop responsible policies helps ensure unnecessary costs and regulatory burdens are not placed on the cooperative at the member's expense. Over the past year, our top legislative priority has been reliability. When it comes to the reliable delivery of electricity, there are 3 top areas of concern. First, we must ensure the reliability and stability of members' electric systems. Reliability cannot be taken for granted. It requires investment in critical infrastructure, a diversified fuel generation mix, and maintaining adequate system capacity, which is our ability to serve our system when electric demand is at the highest. As you know, Western, along with 6 other distribution utilities, owns Sunflower Electric Power Corporation, which is responsible for providing all of us with wholesale energy and high voltage transmission services. If we didn't jointly own Sunflower, each distribution member owner would have to acquire its own energy generation and transmission facilities, and you can imagine how cost prohibitive that would be. The Sunflower Board of Directors has long supported a diversified generation mix, and we now have natural gas, coal, wind, and solar in our fuel portfolio. This allows us to capitalize on the fuel resource that best benefits our members at different times. For example, when the cost of natural gas has increased, our costs have been mitigated by the energy from Sunflower's coal-based unit at Holcomb Station. Renewable energy resources also serve a valuable purpose, but we must be strategic about their deployment to bring the most value to our members. For example, this last year, we broke ground on the 20-megawatt Russell Solar project. Sunflower chose a site near Russell for the project because the project will provide voltage support to an area of the transmission system that would have otherwise required an expensive system upgrade. It's a win-win project because the solar facility will provide energy on peaking days, the hottest time of summer when our system experiences its highest energy demand, and saves from having to invest in transmission upgrades for voltage support. We must ensure that the transition to greener generation sources does not outpace the commercial availability of affordable, proven associated technology. Renewable and storage sources must be economically competitive so that our members do not subsidize the transition through higher rates. Secondly, we must enhance the security of member systems. Threats of physical and cyber attacks risk the reliability of the entire electric grid. There must be crucial investments in maintaining and modernizing hardware and software systems to help the grid remain secure. We must make timely investments in our physical plants to ensure resilience, even during severe weather events. By investing in physical and cyber security, we are ensuring reliability and the continuity of operations for our members under some of the worst conditions. Finally, we must focus on providing reliable electric service to members at an affordable price. As a consumer-owned, not-for-profit utility, co-ops have no incentive to charge more than the cost to provide service. Kansas is rich in many natural resources, including wind and solar. However, much of this renewable energy produced in our territory is exported to population centers in eastern Kansas and surrounding states. For the power to travel to where it will be used, expensive transmission upgrades are mandated by the Southwest Power Pool, and a majority of the upgrade costs are assigned to the Sunflower member co-ops, including Western. This is wrong. Those who use the energy should pay the cost of transmission builds or upgrades. This is fundamental to a fair and just rate design. We will continue to support changes at the Southwest Power Pool and the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission for a fair transmission cost allocation not stopping until our members are not saddled with the additional cost burden of supplying neighboring states with electricity. Likewise, our members should not be harmed by aggressive distributed generation policies, such as behind-the-meter solar and wind. I must stress that we are not against renewable energy. If rooftop solar is an investment that you would like to make as a consumer, we support your choice. But we cannot expect the rest of our members to subsidize their neighbors' solar panels. Reliability will continue to be a theme throughout the rest of this presentation and is something we will continue to invest in on behalf of our members. Once again, thank you for being a member of your electric cooperative. And now, here is the 2023 financial report.
Hello, I'm Stacy Malsum, CFO at Western Co-op. Here is the 2023 financial report. As I go through this presentation, keep in mind that the story of Western's 2023 financial performance was most affected by some of the lowest sustained natural gas prices we have seen in years. So while total revenue was $5.5 million below the previous year, it was mostly driven by energy cost adjustment credits that were applied to our members' monthly bills due to the lower than expected natural gas market price for wholesale power. Likewise, the cost of power was $7 million less than we paid in 2022, which represented the biggest portion of the decrease in expenses from the prior year. Operating margins were $2.3 million for 2023. The economic challenges of inflation, material costs, supply chain delays, and increase in fixed expenses were all factors that impacted Western's margin. As I mentioned, Western's total expenses decreased significantly by $6.3 million from 2022, primarily due to the lower market price of natural gas. The wholesale power we purchased to serve you represented 57% of our total expenses in 2023. Operating margins represented 6% of our total revenue after expenses were deducted. At the end of the year, all margins beyond expenses are allocated to the members in the form of capital credits. The other categories listed here represent Western's distribution costs, which are the costs necessary to deliver electricity through our distribution system to your home or business. Western purchased 355.7 million kilowatt hours to serve our members in 2023. The wholesale cost of power was 26% lower in 2023 than in 2022, reversing the trend of rising purchase power costs from the past few years. This graph represents the total megawatt hours sold. Although there was a sharp decline in 2020 sales, there has been a slight increase through 2023. However, total sales still remain lower than in pre-COVID years. Our owner's equity remains strong by increasing slightly to $56 million, or 47.8%. This is above the U.S. median and significantly outperforming the Kansas median for electric cooperatives. Assets have been increasing steadily due to our investment in the physical plant to improve reliability. We forecasted about 3.6% projected plant growth annually through 2026. One of Western's strengths is investing in infrastructure while keeping debt stable and interest rates low. However, one thing to keep in mind is that interest costs on new borrowings have increased significantly over the last year and will affect our blended interest rates in future years. 2023 was a busy year for the finance department at Western. USDA approved Western's $21 million RUS loan. This will ensure Western will pay the lowest interest rate possible to fund our 2024 through 2026 construction work plan. We also performed a depreciation rate study, and RUS approved the rate implementation plan. This methodology will ensure that equipment is appropriately depreciated, which is particularly important for electronic equipment and materials that utilize newer technology that may not have the same life cycle as in the past. While the lack of growth in sales has failed to offset the increasing cost of service, Western continues to operate as economically as possible and strives to improve cash flow by recovering available funding from FEMA for storm damage reimbursements sustained in 2021 and 2022. Overall, while we face several financial challenges due to the external environment, Western continues to be a financially strong cooperative. Detailed financial statements are included in the annual report, the May edition of the Kansas Country Living magazine, and on our website. Thank you.
Wired for Success reflects your electric cooperative's dedication to more than just providing electricity. It signifies a commitment to the prosperity, resilience, and sustainable development of the communities we serve. Your cooperative plays a vital role in powering your local businesses, farms, and industries, contributing to economic growth and success within communities. Businesses and agricultural operations can thrive because they have a dependable energy partner supporting their operations. Western remains connected to you by more than just power lines. We exist to serve you. We belong to the people we serve, we are your neighbors, and we are a committed service organization. If you have any questions about what I've presented in this report, please don't hesitate to contact me at the Western office or the contact information listed on the screen. Thank you for being a member of Western. It is a privilege to serve you. Once again, all of these videos are going to be available on our website for the meeting today for review for those that were not in attendance. At this time, do you have any questions from the membership? Seeing none, we always want to take the opportunity to say simply thank you for both your patience and your kindness as we go through the normal everyday run routine of providing you with electrical service. There's a lot of things that we do out there that aren't necessarily easy to do, but your kindness and patience really shows through, and it's a great reflection of the culture that we have here in Western Kansas. It's because of people like you that it makes it really easy to say that this truly is still the heartland of America. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Stacy Malsum, the CFO at Western, presented the financial report during the last video. However, the financial report was published and mailed to each member along with the official meeting notice in April. Are there any questions about the financial report? Hearing none, I call for a motion to accept the financial report as presented. I have a motion. Do I have a second? I have a second. All those in favor? Opposed? Same sign. Motion carries. Our guest speaker today is Lee Taffanelli. Lee is the CEO of the Kansas Electric Cooperatives, which supports the Kansas Electric Cooperatives with legislative engagement, communication, education, loss control, and safety compliance. Lee joined KEC as Chief Executive Officer effective May 1st, 2020. Taffanelli has most recently served as a Kansas Adjutant General responsible for 3 primary duties: ensuring wartime readiness of over 7,000 soldiers and airmen of the Kansas Army and Air National Guard, coordinating the overall emergency preparedness for the state's response to natural disasters and emergencies, and serving as the Homeland Security Advisor for the state of Kansas. Taffanelli has served in the Kansas House of Representatives from 2001 to 2005, when he took leave of office to command the 891st Engineer Battalion in Iraq. After his deployment, he resumed his legislative post in 2006, where he served until January 2011, when he was appointed Kansas Adjutant General. During his time in the Kansas legislature and as Adjutant General, Taffanelli developed a deep interest and focus on improving issues affecting rural Kansas. Taffanelli received his commission from Pittsburgh State University, Army Reserve Officer Training Corps, and holds his master's degree in environmental planning and management from the Kansas State University, and holds a master's degree in strategic studies from the U.S. Army War College. Throughout his military career, he has received numerous military awards, including the Army Distinguished Service Award and the Bronze Star Medal. Please join me in welcoming from KEC, General Lee Taffanelli. Thank you, Lee.
Thank you very much, everyone. If anyone is like me and is a little bit stiff, please take a moment and stand up and move, because I know these chairs can be a bit debilitating. Everybody at once, it makes it good, the noise. Feels better, doesn't it? All right, thank you. So while you're getting seated, again, it's an honor and privilege for me to be here today. You know, one of the highlights that I have really in my job is the ability to come out and spend some time with our members. And doing these at these annual meetings is really the kind of the highlight for that. And I want to thank you all for your involvement in your electric cooperative. There's a lot of things you could be doing with your time today, and you're involved in your electric co-op, and that really says a lot. When Tom asked me to do this, I asked for some guidance. I said, Tom, what do you want me to, you know, what advice or counsel can you give me? He goes, well, I need you to be brief, be brilliant, and be gone. And I said, okay. He said, and 2 out of 3 is good. So I figured I'll let you all figure which 2 we're going to work with today. But one of the things I try to do at these events is really kind of recognize those who've served in our armed forces at any point. So if you've served as a member of our armed forces, please stand and be recognized. Please give them a round of applause. Thank you all for your service. As you kind of heard, KC does a lot of things, and I'm not going to go through a lot of what we do. I'm going to talk about a few things. But then I also realized when I looked at the agenda today, I'm standing between you and the items to my left that are going to be part of the drawing. And so I also am cognizant of the time that I'm up here. But I did want to talk about a couple things that we do that's kind of new. And following Tom, following the other speakers, it's great to have Senator Billinger here and Representative Wassinger and Representative Rajas. They do a fantastic job for you all in Topeka. And I'll talk a little bit about that here in just a moment. But one of the things that Representative Wassinger talked about was cyber. And you heard Tom talk about it just now in the video. And that's one of the things that anymore, it's not a matter of if, but when there's a cyber event that's going to happen. If it hasn't impacted you personally, it doesn't mean that it's not impacted a business that you do business with or a government entity. And that threat is not going to change. The threats are becoming more sophisticated, more prolific. You can't pick up a newspaper, for those who still read newspapers, or look at any kind of a news outlet that on almost a daily basis there is some kind of a mention of some kind of a cyber attack. And again, it's not a matter of if, but when. And the other thing that's factual is that the amount of money that we spend on cybersecurity this year is the cheapest amount of money we're going to spend in cybersecurity ever, just because of the rapidly changing dynamics of that threat. So we at KC have done some things. 2 years ago, the board allowed us to hire an individual that focuses on cybersecurity, and his position really is to go out there and assist our electric cooperatives in raising their overall level of resilience in terms of their cybersecurity posture with different techniques, different tactics to kind of push out those threats. We work with the state of Kansas, and because we're critical infrastructure with the electric utility side, that puts us in a little higher threat profile. So a lot of people are interested in what we're doing from a cybersecurity perspective. And so that's been one of the interesting things that we've done in the last 2 years to kind of help and assist our co-ops. But we're really one of only a handful of states that had gotten an early start in terms of the cybersecurity at the statewide association side of things. The other item that I wanted to kind of visit a little bit about is, you heard a lot about what we do in terms of advocacy and government relations, whether it's working with our federal congressional delegation or working with our statewide elected officials. And what I'm going to talk a little bit about is that, our primary role there is we do 3 things. We educate, we inform, and we try to influence. And we do that, for a primary purpose on behalf of our members. And we make sure that those that are making policy at the federal or state level understand the uniqueness and the specific issues as they affect our electric co-ops and their members. And we're different as an electric co-op. We're not a municipally owned utility. We're not an IOU. And we're not driven by profit motivation or our shareholders. We're driven by you, the member. And you heard the speakers earlier talk about safe, reliable, and affordable energy. And we take in, as an electric co-op, the resources that are needed to operate and maintain the electric system that you all rely upon. So one of the things from a legislative perspective, and kind of as Nick kind of talked about in my biography, I had the privilege of serving in the Kansas legislature for about 10 years. And so what I noticed, not only in that time, but really since, is that there's a shifting balance of power, if you will. And you heard some of the legislators talk about, come November, you're all going to vote for our elected officials again at the state level. All 165 members are up. But what's going to be different this year, because we went through a redistricting process, which happens every 10 years, we rebalance where those seats are based on population moves. Well, we have fewer rural legislators this time than we previously did for the last 10 years. So when they vote, we're going to have fewer rural legislators that are going to represent rural interests. Now, as I said, you've got a great delegation of rural legislators that support us and understand the co-ops. But what we're finding is more and more legislators who are coming in, you know, they're coming from urban areas, they may not understand what electric co-ops are. And if you think about just something as basic as here, you may have 2 to 3 meters per mile. In a suburban urban area, they have 2 to 3 meters in 100 feet. And so there's a tremendous dynamic, and that's only one small difference that's there. So we have to come up with new ways by which we work with our urban suburban legislators as we have this continual shift of power in terms of policy. And it's not that, you know, those who live in the more urban or suburban areas don't want to do things that are maybe more favorable to rural areas. It's just different. So they're going to view policy, and again, whether it's energy policy, water policy, tax policy, doesn't really matter. They look at it differently. And so we have to find ways of establishing relationships with those individuals so that we can inform and educate them on the uniqueness to our electric co-ops. And that's probably the biggest thing that we've had to deal with, and we'll continue to deal with, you know, long into the future. And the other thing that I kind of picked up on just in the last 20 years is we see this continual trend of a shifting to more urban areas, is that maybe 20, 30 years ago, you might have lived in Topeka or Kansas City and been in the legislature, but your parents or grandparents came from the farm. We're seeing more and more legislators that don't even have that connective tissue to rural Kansas, rural America. And that's going to be a big challenge for all of us in all aspects of rural policy. So as we work to come up with new programs, new ways of trying to educate and inform those legislators, that's where a lot of our focus has been. We have a program that we've started. It's called Adopt a Legislator. And we take and marry up electric co-ops and align those to legislators that may be in Johnson County or in Sedgwick County. And so we create that relationship so that those legislators and those co-ops can build those friendships, build those relationships, so that there's an understanding of the issues that affect electric co-ops. So that's been highly successful. We're going to continue to enhance that. And again, it really is about bringing that rural voice and helping our rural legislators convey that message to those that maybe don't have that understanding of rural Kansas and those issues that impact rural America. So one of the other things we do is you heard today about the Kansas Country Living magazine, and so we do a lot of neat things with it. And who here gets the Kansas Country Living magazine? Who reads it? Should be everybody. If you don't, go see a member of Western. They'll make sure that you get that. Now, what's really neat about it, it's a great affordable communication piece. That center section, about 6 or 8 pages, It's all local. So it's for Tom and the local co-op to get that information out to you that's specific to Western. Now, the other pages that are in there are broader in nature. Typically, there may be some articles on efficiency. There's also, from time to time, some recipes. If you haven't seen it, has anybody seen the recipes? Has anybody tried the recipes? Everybody's hand should go up because they're really pretty good. And that's one of the highlights there. But it is a very cost-effective way for us to get important information out to our cooperative members, and we're very, very proud of that magazine. Now, one of the things, if you've been reading that magazine for the last year, you notice we talk a lot about reliability. In Tom's general manager's report, he talked about reliability. So there's a reason for all of this. How many in here remember when, like the video showed that started this all, when the electricity came to your family farm or to your business or your community? Raise your hand. Okay, so, and I would encourage those who didn't, even if you don't know the story, talk to those individuals that raised their hand, because what I have found fascinating, and I ask that question in all of these venues when I have the opportunity, because it didn't always exist. And the impact that had on your lives, on your dreams, and on the future is unimaginable. And if you think about, as you talk to some of the individuals who remember that, they remember what it was like for their mother or their grandmother in the kitchen to cook and have a light on there, or for their father or grandfather, or when they went out to do chores in the barn, that they had a light out there, and what a difference it made in their lives. And I think now you flash forward, in Western's case, 79 years, and I think that we're all sometimes guilty of maybe taking that reliability thing for granted, because we've just become so accustomed to flipping a switch and a light bulb comes on or a motor turns. But it's not an easy thing. It's a very complex business, and everybody here at Western, from the board to Tom to the linemen that go out and work the lines every day, to the office staff, that is their number one function, is to make sure that we have reliable energy so that when you flip a switch, that motor comes on or that light turns on. And what we're starting to see the last couple of years, and it's really kind of picked up to a fever pitch, there are those out there that are wanting to push more renewables, more insecure forms of energy than really what the system can accommodate in a reliable manner. And so when we talk about decarbonizing and some of the things about getting rid of coal, getting rid of gas, and going more and more into the renewables, those are always a good thing in some respects if we're doing it in balance, where we're not putting the system at risk. But I think from a policy perspective at the national level, we're seeing is that we're kind of forgetting about reliability, or probably more realistically, the answer is, don't worry, the electric utilities will figure it out. Well, there is no figuring this out. If we go too far too fast, what's going to happen is that reliability is going to be at risk. And we can't allow that to happen. And that's why we need everybody's voice. That's why we push back on the national policy. That's why we work with our state officials on that balance, or the all of the above approach. Because at the end of the day, and if there's only one thing that you take out of my comments here today, take the reliability thing with you, because it is a very important thing. It's why we exist, is to provide reliable energy for our members. And we just want to make sure that whatever gets done on a policy perspective doesn't overlook it, doesn't underestimate the impact of all of the other energy challenges, all of the other opportunities that are out there. And you know what? Maybe someday that we're going to be able to get there. But when you look at all of the increasing demands for electricity through beneficial electrification, and at the same time we're reducing our dispatchable energy, we create and put ourselves at risk. And we're putting ourselves at an unnecessary risk that maybe if we go slow, you kind of go fast to do that. So I'm going to kind of wrap it up there. You've been great. Thank you so much for having me out here today, and very much appreciate the opportunity, and may God bless each and every one of you, and God bless this great country.
Thank you, Lee. Western's very fortunate to have such a great organization in KAC led by such a great leader to represent us and guide us into the future. Now, EJ will share the election results with the membership.
I need to grow. The nominating committee was appointed in December of '23. Members were notified of the committee member via bill insert and the Kansas Country Living magazine. And it's also on the Western Co-op website. The nominating committee members were in District 1, Michelle Winholz, Pat Wendling, Evan Lesser. In District 2 was Tom Kreitzer, Nathan Staub, John Kupitz Jr. District 3, Doug Manhart, Terry Osmeyer, and Doug Stefik. The Credentials Committee met on May 3rd at the Western Cooperative Office to count and verify the election results. Those members of that committee was Pat Wendling of District 1, District 2, John Kupitz Jr., and District 3, Doug Manhart. The votes were tabulated and certified, and the following results was that in District 1, Marvin Keller received the most votes, District 2, Tim Stanton, and in District 3, Landon Heyer. And that's the results. We have Tim Stanton is our new member on the board.
Thank you, EJ, and congratulations to the elected trustees. Being a trustee of an electric cooperative dedicated to serving the community's needs and understanding of energy systems, and a commitment to transparent communication with members. For their years of service, I would like to award service pins to trustees who have achieved 5-year milestones in the last year. First is Dale Weinhold for 10 years of service. Next is Craig Crossland for 20 years of service. This next award is mind-blowing. Richard Schaus has been on our board for 50 years. Sorry, I stepped.
you. That's all of you.
Again, thank you to all of our trustees and their commitment to the Western members. Now, I will ask, do we have any old business that needs to come before the meeting? In that case, hearing none, we will move on to new business. Do we have any new business that needs to come before the meeting? Hearing none, we will move on. Now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, it's time for door prizes and for this meeting to be over and get ice cream. Thank you to all of our meeting sponsors. Door prize winners were selected at random from the list generated when you registered in attendance here today. At this time, Nolan will read the names of the winners. Please come get your prizes after he's done reading. Were you going to say?
So Jay he'll shine it up here. He's working on putting that slide up, but I'll go ahead and get started. The winner of the Weather Band Radio, Alan Austin. We have an Eagle Claw fishing pole for Alexander Czar. Pocket combo fishing pole for Carol Hamblin. A Faberware tin cut coffee and espresso maker, Christina Lowry. 17-inch electric tabletop griddle, Claire Gustin. And we're happy to have Claire here today. She's also a retired Sunflower employee, and she was a great advocate for the co-ops in her time at Sunflower. So thank you for being here, Claire. And she's a proud member of Western, so we like Claire. The Hyper-Tough 1.5 gallon wet and vac, dry vac, that's Craig Kramer. Hyper-Tough 120 volt inflator, Seas Farms. The 144 piece mechanic tool set goes to Dana Tinker. The $100 Lowe's gift card to Edwin Rath Jr. We have a $100 Lowe's gift card to Eileen Bellars. A $25 Cabela's gift card to Gerald Armbruster. We have a Dillon's gift card for Gretchen Hayflicker. The Klein Tools AC tester, that's for John Kupitz. The Milwaukee 74-piece impact driver set, Johnny Howard. $50 Cabela's gift card, Kirk Lang. We have a $50 Cabela's gift card for Mark Klein. 7-quart crock pot, Mary Wayman. Handheld fabric steamer, Matt Neff. I don't know what Matt's going to be doing with that, but maybe have a clean uniform. The 7-piece car cleaning kit for Melvin Keller. KitchenAid food processor, Michelle Winholtz. A 12-piece cutlery set for Richard Kreitzer. Stainless steel Ranger water bottle, Robert Steffens. The barbecue seasoning and sauce package for Ronald Hurl. The fold-in adjustable table for Stephen Desir Sr. Oversized camping chair for Terry Rush. The soft grip grilling set for Tristan Sokup. Tristan's one of our new employees that was hired in 2023. The 40-can collapsible zipless cooler for Vesta Russell. And finally, our Roomba vacuum winner is Wally Thornburg. Thank you to all of our door prize winners. You can pick those up after the meeting.
As we wrap up, I would ask all of those in gray shirts to enter this room and please stand. I want to thank everybody. They need a huge round of applause. All of our employees at Western are the reason we're successful. Thank you all. We're all winners because of their great service, but congrats to the winners of the door prizes. Please join us for ice cream immediately following the meeting, and with that, I declare the 79th annual meeting of Western Cooperative adjourned.